Good afternoon, and welcome to another episode of the Employee Baltimore Show. I'm your host, Marvin McKinstry, Workforce Supervisor with the Mayor's Office of Employment Development, and we have an amazing show as I'm going to be talking to our guests today who are from Moveable Feast. I get excited because we're talking to a purpose-driven organization, but not only purpose-driven, they also have employment opportunities today. So I need you to like, love, share, get as many people, tag people in the comments that you think needs to be here with us today because we're going to have a good time talking about some great opportunities with a great organization that is about a great work. I say great about 4 or 5 times that time, but I'm excited because this is really an opportunity for people who want to do purpose driven work and it's career oriented work. So we are here for all of it. Got to talk about it. You here in Baltimore, you see everything that's going on around Omicron. I'm excited to report that in the northeast region of the United States, we are starting to see that plateau and that decline that they've talked about. And even though we are still having our doors closed, it has not impacted our engagement because we have virtual events. That's right. We are virtually connecting with job seekers, virtually connecting businesses to job seekers, and we have all kinds of events going on. We got something coming up next week, and probably by the close of the show, I'll be able to give you some formal dates, times, and locations. And on January the 31st, we're going to have an engagement on a Monday where we're going to have several employers there. Some of the employers that we're looking at bringing there is Walmart. They have some stock positions that pay really well. It's going to be about 5 or 6. So please make sure that even though we glad to see the decline, our doors are still closed to people walking into our centers, but we are still servicing people because we're in this virtual space. We are doing a relaunch of the job services piece at our Westside Youth Opportunity Center. And it's going to be spearheaded by myself and one of my team members, Ms. Cortez Cannon. Listen, y'all, on Wednesdays, we're going to have a job club type of space. So if you know somebody from the age of 18 to 24, put them in touch with Miss C. Cannon at oedworks.com. That's C. Cannon, the conventional spelling of Cannon, Cannon at oedworks.com, and get them connected because we're going to be doing some powerful things at the Youth Opportunity Center, still making sure our 18 to 24-year-old population is connected to employment opportunities so that they can thrive and continue to do great work. Also, if you had not heard, the portal is open. If you're interested in the opportunity with YouthWorks, the portal is open and accepting applications. Listen, y'all, last year, in spite of the pandemic, we were still able to service a lot of young people, but we're looking to do even more. And we have partners. Not only do we want to talk to the people who want to get young people connected to the employment opportunities that are associated with being in the Youth First program, we also want to talk to businesses because we need workforce partners to continue to make this work. We have our Hire One program, and our Hire One program allows you to support your own young person. That's right. You can support your own young person. So if your business for that 5 week or longer period during the summer can support a young person, and what we mean by support, you can pay the wage. We want you to partner with the Mayor's Office of Employment Development so that we can get young people connected. It gives you a great opportunity to get a young person into your space, to mentor them, to help them with their growth and professional development. And listen, y'all, the work that we have done down through the years includes people like Senator Cory McCray, Mayor Brandon Scott. These are people that came through our program, and that early experience helped set them on a path for greatness. That's right. A state senator and our very own mayor of Baltimore City are people who are success stories that we have with our beloved summer jobs program. If you are a work site that wouldn't mind hosting some young people, when we need to get a work site agreement with you, and you do both of that by going to www.youthworks.oedworks.com, and there's links. There's a connecting point on each one of on that site for each one of those opportunities. Listen, y'all, we can complain about them, we can talk about them, or we can make sure that we're doing something to support them. It doesn't matter if you're a church and you got a summer program or something that you're doing. We want to be able to partner with you to give our young people the opportunity to get positive mentorship in professional spaces so that they'll get an early taste of work. And I know my personal story. I got my first job at 13 years old, working at the Lexington market as a result of a program that I was in. It wasn't quite this version of YouthWorks, but I got my first job. And one thing that's been consistent in my life is the understanding that if I work, I get the reward. We want to start our young people off young, understanding that earning a good living is a good thing. And this YouthWorks program now for almost 30 years has been in place to do that. As we talk about the YouthWorks program, we're preparing on this Sunday to bid a farewell to one of the giants of this agency who was the architect of all things youth, not just the YouthWorks program, but the Youth Opportunity program, Mr. Ernest Dorsey. And today is going to be our day to give him a formal farewell from the Employee Baltimore show. He is retiring. And look, I didn't know if I would see the day come because he loved helping young people in Baltimore. So we want to dedicate today's show to Mr. Ernest Dorsey and his legacy of great work. We're glad that he can retire and go and sit and enjoy some of the fruits of his labor. This agency in the city will not be the same without him, but we're grateful for his investment and his time. And look, he's one of those people that I genuinely look up to. And I say that if I can have a measure of the impact that Mr. Dorsey was able to have on this city and its young people, I will feel as though my labor has not been in vain. So, Mr. Dorsey, we salute you. Thank you for all of your, I think it's 40 years. I think it may be 40 years that you invested in this city. And I believe that there's so many of us that are better for it. I may not have gone through the YouthWorks program, but as a young person that was just energetic, you gave me an opportunity. And from that opportunity, I was able to do so many different things in my career. You always positioned me to lead. And when I had some of my wild ideas, you said, let's go with it because you trusted me with the reins of the Youth Opportunity Center. And I'm excited to see you be able to celebrate and enjoy your time in retirement. Thank you for all that you've done for our city. All right, y'all. I have given out a bunch of information. I don't think that I've missed anything. Oh, yes, I have. We do have a celebration coming up to commemorate the 30 years that the YouthWorks program or the Youth Opportunity as a whole has been in existence. And y'all, listen, it's still in the planning stages. I can't put dates and things of that nature out there, but listen, it is going to be a thing. You will be able to tune in live via the Employee Baltimore show. You'll see yours truly interviewing many of our VIPs, our alumni, and things of that nature in real time. So even though it may be limited capacity due to COVID, we will give you access virtually. Y'all, listen, I'm excited about all that this virtual platform is allowing us to do, and nothing excites me more than our ability to bring great people to you as a result of this platform. And today, is not no different. We have two young ladies that's with us today that is going to be talking about Moveable Feast. Moveable Feast has been around for a long time, y'all, and it's a great organization. And while we're going to get some insight into the great work that we do, that they do, we're also going to be able to hear about some amazing opportunities that they have available. So I want to introduce to y'all, present to some, as we say in church. Y'all know I'm a pastor. Present to some and introduce to others my two new friends who I'm excited about being here with us today. Brandy and Angie, thank you for joining the Employee Baltimore show.
Hi, thank you for having us.
How y'all doing?
I'm wonderful.
Y'all
Especially
realize
after
that
that great introduction.
I just talked for 10 minutes straight. I don't know how I did that, but I did it. I
I
got a
was
little ahead
impressed.
of myself. I have to always acknowledge our great producer. Y'all see, she brought him in right on time. I told him that we see this show in two different directions, but it comes together, and she's the greatest partner that I could ever ask for. So I do have to take time and shout out Miss Catania Lester behind the scenes, making all of the magic happen. And I would be remiss if I did not do that. So now that I did that, welcome to the Employee Baltimore show.
Oh, thank you.
Look,
Thank you for having us.
I'm completely excited about you being here. Again, as I said before, there are some employers that we have on, and while anybody that can offer an opportunity to somebody is great, but when you get that opportunity to do great work, meaningful work, impactful work, and not again to minimize anybody else, but man, Movable Feast has had a purpose that has been impacting the lives of vulnerable people for years. So, whichever one of you guys want to jump in first, start us off by telling us a little bit more about Movable Feast.
Sure. And Brandy, I can do that if you don't mind.
Oh, knock yourself out.
So I'm Angie Kelly. I'm the community engagement manager here, and I've been with the organization for about 8 years. A couple of that was as a volunteer and 6 as an employee. And I was the volunteer coordinator for a long time. So given the movable feast spiel it's like my thing. So what we do is we home deliver medically tailored meals to clients who are living at the intersection of serious critical illness and food insecurity. So it's a pretty specific population of people. Our clients are in active treatment for HIV, cancer, heart disease, renal disease, lung disease, liver disease, diabetes, and then they are also experiencing food insecurity, which could be for a number of reasons, right? Like it could be because of income levels, it could be because they live in a food desert, are living in isolation, lack access to transportation, or maybe are limited in their physical capacity to cook and care for themselves. And one of the things that sets our organization apart is that our program is completely free for all of our clients that are a part of it, and they all receive medically tailored meals. So really catered to the nutritional needs. And also we offer fresh produce, supplements if that's a need, medical transportation, and medical nutrition therapy, which is our dietitians working with them to educate them on nutritional needs and, help them learn how to make healthy choices for themselves as they're managing their illness.
Food insecurity is a big thing in Baltimore, and we've seen it down through the years as we watch some local supermarket brands that were once right in the community move on. Um, you guys, we all know that that was overly, it was actually elevated more when the pandemic hit, and
Mhm.
you guys happen to already be providing services into that space. How did the pandemic impact what you guys were already doing? Did it increase the need? Were you guys kind of out in front of it? Was it one of those things where it's like, look, we already good in this space? How did the pandemic impact that?
Yeah. Well, what I will say, it definitely increased the need, right?
Yes.
And that was definitely a part of our messaging when we were reaching out to funders because, Moveable Feast never shut down. It never shut down. For a lot of our clients, we are their only source of meals. And so it was very, very important that we continued to prepare those meals and get those meals out. And so the need increased. We were not immediately able to increase our capacity to take on clients because we did have to suspend our volunteer program, and our volunteers have a very heavy hand in helping us meet our production goals. And so we were in a period of just kind of maintaining where we were. But what was really, really wonderful is that we did not have to disrupt services to any of the clients that were currently on our program. And we did not miss a single delivery for the entire pandemic. So the folks that were with us were able to continue to receive meals, and we were able to stay a source of security for our clients that were with us. And we have since then been able to expand. So we went from approximately 650 clients up to 800. So that's where we are right now.
And I also want to add
Wow,
as
so you guys
well.
actually grew during the pandemic.
Yes, yeah, we have
Yeah,
grown.
yeah, and I do want to
Wow. Thank you.
mention
Go ahead,
that.
Brandy.
Oh, and I also want to mention that we did, prior to the pandemic, we did have a wait list, but
Mhm,
once the pandemic hit, we were
mhm.
able to we were able to add more clients and therefore getting rid of the wait list. So we no longer have a wait list for anyone that's looking to enroll in our program. And in order for clients to enroll in our program, they would have to reach out to their case manager or social worker. And then the social worker would send in the necessary paperwork.
That's awesome. I mean, again, work with a purpose is something that I've enjoyed in my 16, 17 years here in the Mayor's Office of Employment Development. There's nothing like it. We do know that there's another organization around Baltimore that does something similar to what you guys do. And I'm going to ask the question. I'm stealing this from our very own Katanya Lester. What is the difference between you guys and Meals on Wheels?
Yeah, well, I would say that our meals are specifically for folks that are living at the intersection of serious illness and food insecurity. So we are not addressing food insecurity in general, but people that are experiencing both of those things at the same time. And then the other thing is that our program comes at absolutely no cost to any of our clients that are on service. Like, it's not subsidized or anything. Nothing comes out of our client's pocket. It is just fully covered by the funding that we receive.
That is awesome, awesome, awesome. Do y'all hear that? The difference is don't cost nothing. But that's just amazing stuff that you guys are able actually to clean up a wait list during the pandemic. And, you know, even though your volunteers were impacted, you guys have not missed a beat. Like, how needed is this service? Can you give us, and I know you said you guys have about 800 clients, but give us a little bit more insight into how needed this is from the perspective of people who are the beneficiaries of it. Like, give us just kind of a different idea of what it's like for a meals one of your clients. I'm sorry.
Were you about to call us Meals on Wheels?
I'm completely lost. For one of your participants, what is a participant of this program generally? What are some of the things that they are struggling with, and some of the things I just want people to know that, you know, the level of impact that you guys are having. And we could use terms like food deserts, food insecurity, and all of that. But give us just kind of an idea of what a client might look like who is receiving these amazing services.
Yeah, well, you know, like I mentioned, when it comes to food insecurity, there are a lot of different reasons why a person might be experiencing food insecurity. I would say the most common ones that we come across is living in a food desert. So we're in East Baltimore, and we actually lost a Save-A-Lot sometime over the past 6 months. And, you know, this is not a neighborhood that can afford to lose any grocery stores. I remember there was another Save-A-Lot that had opened 2 blocks down from us, like 5 years ago, I think. And I remember the day that it opened, the line wrapped like 2 blocks around. So that gives you like a visual of how necessary or how needed fresh produce is in these areas. One of the other things that we come across with a lot of our clients is living in isolation. Like, a lot of our clients don't have a strong support network of people that they can turn to. And that was something that was ever more apparent during the pandemic. Our client services team and our dietitians, I mean, just the level of empathy that they were able to reach with our clients who were calling terrified that the pandemic was going to cause us to cease services, because not only would that have meant another barrier to food access, but it also would have meant another barrier to emotional connection to another being, because for many of our clients, Moveable Feast is who they are seeing every single week. Just to ask them how they are. You know, Brandy, do you have anything to add?
I mean, I think you did a pretty good job at like summing it all up. And so most of our, well, I don't want to say most of our clients, but some of our clients are very talkative because, Movable Feast is all that they see. And so that's why, I know we're going to talk about this in a moment, but that's why when it comes to our delivery drivers, we strive to look for a delivery driver or a candidate that has really good customer service skills. So therefore our clients can feel comfortable in speaking with them and things like that. We also have with our dietitians, speaking with our clients, our dietitians does educate our clients on the proper foods to eat, which I thought was very when I came on board, I thought that was very interesting and very well needed. Because some people aren't, because of the way that they are brought up, they're not aware of the proper foods to eat, especially when they're dealing with certain illnesses, such as cancer.
Yeah,
Right. And
I
you think
learned.
about
Listen,
sorry.
I'm clear. I learned my bad eating habits because in my house we ate good food, soul food, and you ate it till it was gone. I'm
Yeah.
I'm just saying that because I'm personally working on my health and changing my lifestyle and eating habits, and stuff like that. Like literally right now, I've been on a vegan diet since the beginning of the year to try to get way more vegetables and stuff in me. But that's where you find the biggest cheesesteak in Baltimore, then you challenge your friends
Got
to
my
see
lunch.
who can eat it. That literally is the mind frame because people don't realize that this is years and years and years and years of habitual poor eating that
Mhm.
leads to the illnesses, and then the illnesses come and there's a need for the services, and you
Right.
guys are not just giving out food. You guys are giving people information. You're giving them the proper foods to be able to make the meals. I had one more question about your client base. With Movable Feast, is there a certain demographic that you serve, or do you guys wind up crossing a lot of the different areas? Because I know food insecurity and food deserts here in Baltimore do not discriminate.
Correct. Most of our clients are African American, and then we have a portion that is that identifies as Caucasian, and then we have just a teeny tiny Latino population. And part of the reason why we don't have as many Latinos in a part of our client base is because we do have one dietitian that speaks Spanish, but they aren't really aware of our program or the foods that we make. They're, goes back to what we just discussed, which is they're used to eating a certain way. And so it's like, even though we may deliver those meals to them, they may not eat it because
Yeah.
they're used to eating a certain
Right.
way.
And we are trying to diversify
Yes.
our meals. I mean, like our chefs that work in the kitchen, they are culinary trained, like culinary experts. Shout out to executive chef Melanie. She was even on Chopped several years ago. Like,
Oh wow.
yes, like the real
That's one of
deal
my
kind of
favorite
chef.
shows. I probably seen that.
You've
Like,
probably
let me
seen
tell
her,
y'all. Let me
yes.
tell y'all how bad I am with Chop. I could literally, because I only watch two things on TV. Like, I don't even have real TV, like cable coming in. I got like smart TV. I could literally on a day off stream Law and Order SVU and Chopped all day long and never watch anything else. Like it's bad. I was like, when did I become my grandfather? Like, just
Well,
watch
so
the
she
same
she
thing
was
over and over
on,
again.
I think in 2016 or early 2017.
Angie, you need to talk to her because I need seasoning episode. I'm
Okay.
gonna go look and I'm gonna scream at the TV like it's happening in real time. What about age? Do you guys find yourself serving a specific age group, or do you cross that spectrum as well?
Yep, we have all ages on our program.
That is
Most
awesome.
of our clients are in the 55 plus range, but unfortunately, like we do have children on our service, so there's no like specific age range. Like if this is your need, then this is your need.
Amen. Listen, y'all. So we're gonna switch and hit the switch and flip it now and talk about the part that most of you will come here for. So if you haven't already, we need you to like, love, and share. Make Facebook's algorithm go crazy. And literally, if you know somebody that's looking for a position, specifically a driving opportunity, I need y'all to tag their name in the comments so they will literally have no choice but to get a notification saying to come and join this show. We have some employment opportunities, and I love that we got to talk a lot about what you guys do, because now a person honestly gets to make an empowered choice to become a part of the Movable Feast team. Can you guys start off by telling us what kind of opportunities you have and just about how many people you're looking for?
So we currently have three open positions. Two of them is in the kitchen department, and we're looking for 2 prep cooks. And then our other position, which is delivery driver, that is also full time, and they will be delivering meals to our clients. And all positions are full time, if I haven't already mentioned it.
Okay. What do the hours generally look like?
So surprisingly, both positions do come in relatively early. The kitchen, so the prep cooks, they would come in at about 6 o'clock, and they usually leave at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. No weekends. And our delivery driver, they usually come in at about 7 o'clock to 7:30. And then their shift wraps up at about 4 o'clock.
I don't think that's uncommon though for people who are in this particular field, because I know that restaurants, if they have like an early service and that sort of thing, they come in pretty early. And I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. This coming into the Mayor's Office of Employment Development, or even being able to get into human services work, was a blessing for me. I mean, it was a blessing because I'd have never thought I was qualified or anything for it. But the tough part was giving up a 6 to 2. Boy, that 6 to 2, you in early before the day start, you out before you know it. That is one of the most amazing shifts, because I was doing security work before I came into this work. And that 6 to 2 was, boy, and listen, I was a supervisor, and that was the most high demand shift that we had. So y'all hear that? You get to get up early, drive the road when there's nobody on it, get there, get your day started, do your work, and before you know it, you are home before the kids even get out of school. Come on now. I need y'all to jump all over this opportunity. What size or type of vehicle are the drivers driving, and what kind of license, if any special licensing, are required?
So that is one of the benefits, I would say, is they do not, our delivery drivers do not need a CDL. We do recommend for them to have experience with driving a large van, because our vehicles are like pretty much like a van / truck size. But yes, that's the only experience that we need.
What is the minimum? Is it like you guys require 6 months, a year, or just some experience?
In driving a large vehicle, we usually say about a year.
Okay, awesome. Mm-hmm. Y'all hear that? I hope you guys have your pens and your papers out and getting these notes, because I'm going to ask all of the questions that I would normally ask if I was looking to bring them into one of our events, because I want you guys to be empowered to be able to know what you need to apply for these opportunities. So that's the driving positions. You say they drive a rather large van. Is that like the Sprinter?
Angie, is that like a Sprinter? Because I'm not too familiar
those
with
are kind of the regular, like I think that I've seen y'all stuff, and it's kind of like that Sprinter. It's a little taller than the average van.
Right.
Yeah. So you guys drive like the Sprinter vans. So if you got experience driving a Sprinter van, we definitely. Is there an age requirement? Because I do know that with a lot of driving positions, there can tend to be that 21 and sometimes even more, but 21 and older.
Yeah. So as far as I know, our drivers have to be 18 and over.
Okay.
And they have to possess a Maryland State driver's license.
They have to hold their license for a minimum amount of time?
No, not that I'm aware of.
Okay. Well, with 1 year's driving experience, you would at least been a license for a year. So, all right.
Right.
Right. Yep.
Now the prep cook positions, prep cooks, I learned through some other work that I've done with some other businesses, are really the unsung heroes of the kitchen. You know, the chef gets all the praise, but it's like nurses in the hospital. The doctor gets all of the acclaim, but the nurse really does all of the work. And that's kind of how I began to look at prep cooks. Talk to us about the prep cooks position specifically and what a good candidate might look like for that.
So a good candidate would definitely, so we're looking for candidates that have 6 months or more experience working in the kitchen, particularly preparing food. We are asking for our candidates to be Serve Safe certified. If they are not, no worries. We will make sure that they're Safe Serve certified.
So stop it. This is one of them things where you got to catch your breath. All right. Did y'all hear that? You're going to get an opportunity and you're going to get a national certification. The Serve Safe certification is a gateway into the food service industry at every level, whether it's in restaurants, hospitals, wherever. So, and I like to stop when we talk these incentives and benefits because I want people to know that Moveable Feast is offering the incentive of being able to become Serve Safe certified, which is a very in-demand certification. Did y'all hear me? Put hashtag serve safe in the comments. Go ahead, Brandy. I'm sorry.
So I think that those two are the main qualifications that we're looking for. The kitchen, as I would think that many people who have worked in the kitchen before knows that is it's kind of like you oil in the motor. Like they do. It's hard. I don't want to say it's hard work, but it's you definitely feel that you're making an impact when you are working in our food department, food services department.
Absolutely. So let's go back and double back to the actual part of it that I heard a little earlier, and I didn't want to double down because I knew we were going to talk about this part. But let's talk about the companionship, right? You're not just a driver.
Right.
You become, in some cases, the only person that visits that individual on a weekly basis.
Yes.
Like, can we talk? Because if you don't have social skills, if you're not really trying to be impactful, this is not the drive. Go drive somewhere else. Go drive a cab or something. This is not. People need to understand this because to me, that's huge. Movable Feast and places like that are the type of places that I always love to volunteer because it's not just about the work, it's about the impact and the engagement of pretty much being the only person that person may see on a weekly basis. That's just huge to me. And I want people to really understand that. Can we talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah.
So we have volunteer delivery drivers here too.
Y'all heard her just recruit me. She just said, put your money where your mouth is, Mr. McKinstry. She just recruited me. And listen, when I take a picture of me and a Movable Feast truck, yeah, I got you, Angie. You called me out. You called me out, y'all.
Well, look, when you volunteer, you use your own vehicle.
Well, look, y'all better give me a shirt or something because I'm gonna need everybody to know that I stepped up and did what I said.
Well, so for basically anybody who's interacting with our clients, from like the dietitians to client services to our delivery drivers, including our volunteers, we have implemented trauma-informed care as a part of this. So that
stop. Y'all on here with me. I got the privilege to just stop listen, y'all. Another very in-demand training, and is it a certification?
I don't know,
but
I'm not
listen,
sure.
To be able to add to your resume that you trauma-informed care. Trauma-informed care is so important that I had all of the staff in my church take trauma-informed care training, and I paid for it. Like, listen, y'all, this is another one of those in-demand things in the community and the workforce and the space, especially of people who are working with vulnerable populations. So if you out there, you looking for things that are going to help you, you can go volunteer or you can get hired and you wind up getting real credible trauma informed training. Because whether you get a certification or not, if your certification say trauma informed and movable feast, I believe that's what we call in the street stamped. Thank you, Angie. I'm sorry. I'll be having to get that in. I'll be having to get it in, y'all. Like this stuff is important, but go ahead, Angie.
Yeah, well, to be fair, I honestly I don't know the level of which we take it with to our staff. I know that it's something that we at least talk about. What I do with our volunteers is we do a very basic introduction to trauma informed care, so that like our volunteers, people interacting with the clients, understand where our clients are coming from and that they've got a lot of odds stacked up against them. And like one of the examples that I have used is like if you've got a client who has had a really hard day, their doctor's appointment got canceled, they couldn't make it to the grocery store, they're looking forward to their driver come because last week we delivered peaches, but today we show up with zucchini, and then they react to it and our driver doesn't understand why the volunteer is reacting to this bag of zucchini. Like that's where trauma informed care comes in, right? And so, like with our delivery drivers, like coming in with a sense of empathy, knowing how to respond to clients who are at elevated levels of stress, coming in with that compassion. Absolutely. That is absolutely something that, needs to be a part of this person's qualifications. At least having an interest in that,
That's amazing, y'all. And listen, these certifications that they're talking about, or the training, or the opportunity to operate in those spaces are very commutable. That's something that you can take in many different directions. But Miss Maria Jones just asked a really, really important question, and we're getting a lot of this at varying levels of employment in the varying businesses and opportunities. Do you need to be vaccinated for these positions?
So yes, that's the short answer. However, if an employee have a medical exemption or religious exemption, then they can definitely still work here and apply for those exemptions.
Yeah, and what I want to share about that is that part of the reason why we had made this decision is because our clients are all immunocompromised because of their illnesses. And so this was an effort, it wasn't just to protect staff, but really about the protection of our immunocompromised clients.
That's awesome, guys. Listen, y'all, I tell people all the time, while I don't tell people what decisions they have to make, there are just some jobs or what decision to make for your personal life. There are just some places where this is going to be something that's required, something that's needed. But you do see here, and if this is you, if you're a candidate that's interested and you have a religious or medical exemption, make sure you have that stuff in place so that at the time of your application, you're not held up working backwards to go get it. But it is vaccinations required. And I'm going to say this, I totally understand why. One of the things that drove my personal decision towards vaccination is that I take care of my 85-year-old and 65-year-old my grandmother and aunt. And it was important to me that in my comings and goings, I don't do anything to compromise them because of their age and pre-existing medical conditions. So I got big respect for that. And if you want to get this opportunity, you got to take into consideration that they require vaccination. And if you have exemptions, actual exemptions, you need to arm yourself with that so that when the time comes, you can do what you need to do. Well, I mean, I've asked a bunch of questions. We got the schedule, the shift times. We got the requirements for just about everything. I'm looking because I'm over here taking notes, y'all. Listen,
and we got awesome benefits.
Yeah,
awesome benefits. Let's talk about the compensation package.
This is one of the kitchens. Look, I worked in the service industry for a long time. I know those restaurants are not giving you benefits. Okay, so come work in our kitchen. You're going to get health benefits, PTO, holidays off. I'll let Brandy take it from here.
Angie, listen, y'all. Angie is my new best friend. Angie cutthroat. She threw me straight on the spot talking about we got volunteer drivers, bruh. And now she coming saying, look, if you out there slaving in some restaurant, they ain't gonna give y'all that good 401k and all that stuff. Come on. I love it. Angie, look, I'm like you. I'm aggressive. Let's go get it. Brandy, what you got to add to the compensation package?
So all of our we do offer awesome benefits. So we have so movable fees. We pay for 75% of the premiums for the medical, dental, and vision. And we also offer we have a 403B plan, which is similar to a 401k, and we match up to 3% at the end of the year. We also give out 19 days per year for PTO. And that is for employees who have been with us less than 4 years. If you have been with us over 4 years, then you get 26 days a year. And we also have a employee referral program where you get a $400 bonus if you refer someone to our employment, refer someone to one of the positions that we have open, and we decide to hire them.
That is awesome. About how many driving positions are we looking to fill?
We're looking to fill one.
One driver position. How many prep cooks?
Two.
Two prep cooks. Y'all heard it here first.
And
two prep cooks, one driver.
And we also have a upcoming vacancy in our accounting department as well.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that should be on our website within the next coming weeks.
And the other thing I want to say too is people stay here for a long time. Let me tell you about Miss Paulette, who worked here for 18 years, retired, and came back 2 weeks later. And now has been with us for 20 years.
I love it. We are about to celebrate somebody that was with this agency for 40 years. And listen, y'all, that's important because stability in a world where things become so uncertain. So I don't know about you, but 3 years ago, I'd never thought that something that is the measure of the common cold could shut the world down. You want to be in a place, and that's one thing I love about working for the Mayor's Office of Employment Development. One of the things that I have not had to worry about as a father, as a person that's now taking care of my grandmother, I have not had to worry about where my source of income was going to come from. I trust God as my source, but where my source of income is going to come from. And that gives a different level of stability, y'all. So when y'all hear them talking about a person being there for 18 years, that is important. Job hopping is not the way to go. Let me say that again. Job hopping is not the way to go because you don't build that sustainability. I just had a conversation while we were talking about benefits and stability with somebody yesterday about how person kind of jumped around for most of their work life and got to the point of retirement and couldn't because they had never been anywhere long enough to really establish anything in the way of retirement benefits and that sort of thing. So y'all listen, it's very, very important that you get with a stable organization, one that's going to be able to provide you with that kind of sustainability for your families. I just want to give you guys the opportunity to each take a moment to pitch to the people that are watching right now, anything that you would like to share, anything that you may not, even personal experience with Moveable Feast as a company before we get ready to sign off.
So I just seen another question that asks for the salary for these positions. So which is $18 an hour for both positions. And again, they're full time.
Stop. I don't know. First of all, y'all forgive me. I'm having an off day because I forgot to ask about that. But listen, y'all, listen. Minimum wage is still $11.75. It hasn't gone up yet. It's about to go up. Even when it goes up, I believe it's only going up to $12.10 or $12.50 an hour. We're talking about prep cooks. That's not going to get benefits in the restaurant because Angie already put that out there that they're doing y'all wrong.
No
If you're in that
weekends.
restaurant industry,
No weekend.
Monday through Friday, no weekends, 6 to 2. And what was the other shift?
7 or 7:30 to 3:30
Seven
or
thirty to
4.
3:30 or 4, right? The shift that you love, and they gonna start you off at $36,000 a year.
Yeah. And you get your birthday off too.
Yes,
And
you
you
do.
and you get your birthday off too. I ain't volunteering on my birthday, Angie. Did y'all hear all that? We got to break it down. $18 an hour, $36,000 a year to start, and you can be as young as 18 if you got the rest of the qualifications. That listen, y'all better stop playing, okay? Y'all better stop playing. I'm sorry, Brandy, I'm gonna let you go, but y'all better stop playing. This is the kind of stuff that the Mayor's Office of Employment Development is bringing to the residents of the city of Baltimore. Movable Feast, purposeful job, gonna pay you good money, good schedule, all of that. Brandy, you got it. I just get excited about stuff like that.
All right, I want to throw in my plugs. Okay. So look, I told you I've been around for a long time. So I've already thrown out my volunteer plug. And just remember, I said I started off as a volunteer. So, even if the position doesn't work out now or we fill up the positions, like, do not discount the value of volunteering. Volunteering for a long time with a place gets you jobs. Okay. We need volunteers in the kitchen 5 days a week. So you can come in and meet our chefs and make yourself established. But the other thing that I want to say is that I know the reason why I have stayed with Moveable Feast for so long is, one, because they take care of their employees. They invest in their staff. They want people to succeed inside of Moveable Feast and outside of Moveable Feast. But the thing that gets me the most is how centered everybody is on the mission. Everything is driven by what is best for our clients, and that makes the hard days not so hard. And something that we've been really building on since the start of the pandemic was when we had to suspend our volunteer program. All of the office staff, we were back in the kitchen working with the kitchen staff to make sure that these meals got out. And even now, when we're short on volunteers, we still go back there. And so there's really a lot of, we're really breaking out of those silos and really working together as an organization to make sure that our clients are always supported, which sometimes means leaving your office to do deliveries, to go work in the kitchen. We are all really in this together, and it shows in the way that we show up for each other. And then also we formed an EDI committee a couple of years ago. And so we have been investing a lot of time and energy into equitable practices, which is part of the reasons why you're seeing that $18 an hour there, like not just so that we're offering a competitive salary, but to make sure that we are adequately offering adequate, appropriate wages for everybody, and breaking out of the idea that, a kitchen job is a low paying job, because it's not. It is hard work and it should be compensated as such. And that's why you see that number there.
Yeah.
Well, I got it. Listen. You got something else, Brandy? Come on with it.
Yes.
Come on with it.
I also want to add to what Angie said, which is good work does not go unnoticed here. Our lovely executive director, Sue Elias, she makes sure that when an employee is doing a good job, that she lets them know, and she commends them for their good job. Using myself as an example, I started off as just HR / administrative assistant, and within a year I was promoted. So that just goes to show that, it's easy to move up as long as you always put your best foot forward.
All right, y'all. Y'all heard it all here today. And listen, y'all. I gotta be man enough to admit when I was wrong, because Katanya set me up, and I'm gonna tell y'all how. Me and Katanya had a bit of a spirited conversation about businesses coming on, and I said I don't like them a lot of times because they just dry. and she gonna bring out the big guns and turn Angie and Brandy loose on me today and say, bruh, I got you, bruh. I repent, Katanya. You win. You was right. Today was an amazing, amazing, amazing opportunity to not just share information, but to hang out with you guys. I thank y'all so much for coming on. Katanya, thank you for all the magic happening behind the scenes. Look, y'all see it right there on the screen. To apply for these jobs, email your resume to ccannon at oedworks.com and jlbrown at oedworks.com. I'm about to put Movable Feast on the spot. I think I already asked you guys, but on Monday the 31st, we have a virtual engagement for people that are seeking employment opportunities. Can we add those positions that you guys are looking to fill if we don't fill them prior to that? And get you some candidates even out of that space.
Yes.
Awesome, 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 awesome. Katanya, you win. Let me say it again. You win, Katanya. You won. I ain't gonna come on the screen. You win. All right. I was wrong. Okay, I was wrong. This has been an amazing, amazing opportunity, guys. Make sure that you are joining us every Thursday at 1 p.m. because even though I said Katanya won, now she has the burden of pre-vetting everybody that comes on here because if they're not going to be as fun as Angie and Brandy, I don't want to talk to them. No, I'm joking. We're going to continue to bring you amazing opportunities from amazing organizations like Movable Feast, who employs amazing people like Angie and Brandy. Listen, y'all, there is a lot of great things that are happening in Baltimore in and around employment. We're at that space that whether it be due to ARPA or whatever else, agencies are expanding and the growth is driving our workforce. It's driving the workforce. This is a good time if you want to do something, if you're already working in the space and you want to change, move up, or do something else, this is a great time to do that. If you in that kitchen and y'all hear me, y'all share this show over and over again because if you're in a kitchen somewhere getting minimum wage with no benefits and they taking all your holidays and weekends from you, you need to come on over and work with a purpose. If you out here you driving and you missing your kids games on the weekends and all that sort of thing, you need to come on over and work with a purpose and for more money. I know on average right now, driving a vehicle that size, people are starting around $14 an hour,
Mm.
$18 an hour for both positions. For both positions.
Mhm.
So I need y'all to really consider that because a lot of times we think about people who are not employed, but there's some people who still fit into that bracket of underemployed. And one of the
Mhm.
things we're focused here, just like the equity team you guys brought together, equity, diversity, and inclusion. For those that didn't know what EDI meant, we here have such a focus on equity that we are raising the standard and we really raised the bar for employers here in Baltimore and been able to shift the minimum wage without having legislation behind it to support us. I am excited to know that whether you think about it, there are three elements of movable fees. Three elements. There is the client, right? There is the employee, and most of all, there is the mission. And when you
Mhm.
think about who Movable Feast is, those three things are so connected that if you want to make good money and all of that and still feel a sense of purpose every day when you go home, like I get to do it, this is something that I really want you to consider. We're going to put it on the screen one more time. C Cannon at oedworks.com, JL Brown at oedworks.com. Look for them to be in our spaces with these upcoming virtual events. Angie and Brandy, I've really, really enjoyed hanging out with you guys today. It was awesome. I really, really look. We're gonna talk. And whenever you have a need, please make sure we in touch so that we can get you guys back on here because this was just flat out fun. I'm a volunteer and I'm gonna play the video and show the pictures right here on this show because Angie put me on the spot.
Uh-huh.
And I'm gonna say it one last time. I'm gonna say it one last time because I'm big enough to admit when I was wrong. Katanya, you set me up. You set me up. You say I got something for them. I'm gonna bring these awesome people on here, these amazing people, and make them eat his words. And I gratefully eat my words today. It's been fun. It's been exciting. I want you guys to always remember that if you're looking for an opportunity, we're looking for you, because the Mayor's Office of Employment Development is in position to do one thing. That's make sure that the residents and the businesses of the city of Baltimore, that their needs are met. We are mission driven. We are servant minded. We just want to make sure that no Baltimorean is without what they need. If that's a business, we want to make sure that the business has access to everything that it needs in the sense of relationships and a good team of people to carry out their mission. And if it's people, we want to make sure that you guys have all the access necessary to what it is, whatever opportunities that are here in Baltimore. With a focus on economic justice, we here at the Mayor's Office of Employment Development are building a workforce system that works. Thank you for joining us. Look forward to seeing you again on next Thursday. We're going to bring you more exciting content. I'll see you then. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.